Okay, so this demo will be attempting to spoof an authentication cookie in Webgoat 5.4 using Burp Suite. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the instructions. It says to log in as Webgoat and see what happens, and also aspect. So we've already got Burp set up to intercept. So we're going to go ahead and log in and just take a look at what's going on. Pretty standard. Forward and look at our history, and we see the request. When we look at the response, we see the auth cookie here. We'll go ahead and copy that down. And going back to our application, if we just see what happens if we reload the page. And we see when we make the second request, the auth cookie is included, so knows it's the Webgoat user. It says welcome Webgoat. And let's see what happens when we do aspect. Go ahead and log out Webgoat. Okay, turn intercept back on. Okay, same thing. And so we see the request for aspect, and on the login page, and it sets slightly different auth cookie. Go ahead and copy that. Okay, and let's see if we do reload the page. We see the auth cookie sent for presumably the user aspect, and we see welcome aspect. Let's see what happens if we just, since we don't have much to go on, it's instructions say to, sorry about that, instructions say to change our identity to Alice. We're not sure how to do that yet, so let's just kind of keep exploring the application. So go to our last normal request with as the aspect user with the auth cookie. Send that to repeater. And see, try to play around with the auth cookie and sending maybe different username, different login info, just as a guess. If we did something like this, just change the user info. But with the aspects login cookie, go and see if it does anything. Scroll down and look at the response. So basically we get, it just says welcome aspect. So even if we send a different login info in the body, what this is telling us is that the application is really, once the auth cookie is set, is just using the auth cookie to authenticate the user. So that method isn't going to work. So let's try seeing if we can figure out how to generate a how to generate an auth cookie for Alice. Doesn't seem like if we send this that it, we could try to send that by itself. See if if the application spits us back anything. But we scroll down, it just says invalid account. So without knowing Alice's password, we're not going to get the application to make an auth cookie for us. So let's take a look at the what we have to go on is just the cookies themselves. And we don't have enough cookies or a way to generate a bunch of cookies with sequencer in order to do like an automated analysis. So we're kind of just going to have to see if we can puzzle it out here. We can kind of ignore the first part a little bit. Seems to be all identical. So 65432. When we look at the latter area, not too much to go on. We see they're slightly different lengths. This one's 6 characters and this one's 7. If we think about it a little bit, we can realize that the Webgoat itself is 7 characters and aspect is 6. So it might be some kind of just character level cipher. If we look at, to see if it's maybe just some kind of a simple cipher, we can look at things that that the two plain text have in common. So we see 2 T's. Doesn't seem to be the same in the at the end position, but we do see 2 U's in the final position. Let's see what else we have that's similar. So we have an A in the first position and a T in the next to last position here. Let's see what that. So we notice for this we have a B in the next in the second position, and an A in the first position here. So what it's starting to look like is that maybe this is a a simple like a Caesar cipher, but the well, let's just try to put some substitutions in and see if we see a pattern. Oops. So we think U might be T. I think B might be A. And let's see, do we have any other common? F looks like might be common here. So we have F in next to last position for the first. And in the third position, So based on this being A and then B and then T and then U, if we guess that that F here is E, because it's a previous following the pattern, seems like an upshift of 1, that F is E. I'll try an E here. And so based on what we have, we see this starts with an A and ends with a T. This this starts with a T and ends with an A, but here it starts with an A and ends with a T. We're going to go ahead and guess that this is aspect backwards. So it's going to be like that. And this is oops. And this is a Webgoat backwards. So based on that, we can write out our Alice cipher. So we'll write it out forwards first. And so the upshift of 1, so B so F, and then we'll write it out backwards, F, D, J, M, B. And we'll copy that. And then we'll look for a request we can try to spoof. Just go for a simple reload of the page. Replace with our Alice auth cookie, see if we get anything. Scroll down, and we get welcome Alice, you've been authenticated cookie. So it looks like we were able to guess the information correctly. Log in as Alice. And it looks like the page still had, the original page still was sending the aspect cookie, but anyway, but since we successfully logged in as Alice using the repeater request over here, the app says we've completed the lesson, and that's it.